So a great mystery has been going around YouTube. We have all wondered how somebody could be as stupid as the one who hosts the channel Queer Kid Stuff. You know the channel I'm talking about.
All are part of one big family. Gaming's happy. Queer Kid Stuff.
Anyway, I have found the mystery of what has caused the brain deterioration of this woman to make her think that any of the shit she posts on YouTube is a good idea. It starts with other shit that she's posted on YouTube that I will now be showing you and making fun of quite easily.
Hey, Lindsay here. Today I want to talk about if all kids are queer.
Well, they are not. So good night, everybody. That's it.
So we know that kids are strange and kind of weird.
Are you still talking? I thought I said we were done here.
But I think that all kids are actually just real queer.
Well, you're a fucking idiot. And I find it quite creepy to even hear that coming out of somebody's mouth about kids.
So, bear with me on this one. We might get a little academic here because I'm in the middle of my master's dissertation and I'm writing about this. So, excuse all the academic talk.
Hey, no academic talk. I'm just an old redneck truck driver. I ain't that smart. I didn't learn that much. Hell, I didn't even go to damn Collegie. Is that what you call it? C-O-L-L-E-G-E. Yeah, Collegie.
But, okay, so basically I've been reading about this theory in queer studies.
Which is the class that she goes to right after gender studies, right before she goes out to protest and march asking for free college because she's pissed off at the insane amount of debt she collected because she decided to take classes that are going to get her absolutely nowhere in life.
Called the theory of the queer child, which was basically coined by this lady, Catherine Von Stockton, in this book, The Queer Child, or Growing Sideways in the 20th Century. I know it's a really weird book cover, but whatever.
Yeah, it's got a weird book cover, but let's not forget the fact that this book is trying to make kids queer, and also proves that sadly she's not the first lunatic on this subject.
And she talks about this theory in terms of metaphors in movies and books and all that cool stuff. So that's this. And then there's also this book of essays called Curiouser on...
I can't tell if that's an actual word or just a medicine to cure diarrhea.
The Queerness of Children, edited by Stephen Brom and Natasha Hurley, and this is a collection of essays. One of them is by Catherine Von Stockton. There's also one by Eve Sedgwick, and a bunch of other big names in queer theory. So basically what this is talking about is the queerness of children and how queer kids are, and basically saying that all children are queer.
So in other words, you've got books by a bunch of people that are creepier than you. Gotcha.
Catherine Von Stockton has these 4 ways that children can be queer. The first is the ghostly gay child. The second is the grown homosexual. Then there's the Freudian queer child, or the not yet straight child. And there's also the child queered by innocence or money. So let's just go through those real quick. The first, the ghostly gay child.
Hold it right there. You already tried to make Elsa from Frozen queer. You're not taking Casper too.
Basically what she talks about when gay people talk about how they always knew that they were gay. I totally knew that I was gay from when I was like a real little kid, but I just kind of didn't have the vocabulary for it yet, and also just didn't understand it at all.
So wait a minute. When you was a kid, you knew that you was gay, but you didn't know that you was gay. You're earning that master's degree right there.
So that's the ghostly gay child. Then there's the grown homosexual, who is the kind of projector of that idea of the ghostly gay child. So that's kind of just me as present projecting that notion of me as a child knowing that I was gay, even though I didn't really have that concept back then.
I don't even have a joke for this. I have no idea what the fuck she just said.
She goes into it further, obviously, in the book. And then there's the third one, the child queered by Freud, or the not yet straight child.
So are you saying that creepy Freud motherfucker made all kids gay? Isn't that a crime punishable by prison?
She uses Freud to talk about how children are all sexual and how there's basically like the ghostly straight child.
Okay, shut the hell up. Kids are not sexual, you deluded bitch. That's creepy as fuck. Why did you think this was a good idea to put on YouTube? And correct me if I'm wrong, but in that bullshit kids channel you run, did you not put out a video basically saying that all kids are asexual until one day when they basically decide what sexuality they want?
Let's get back on track. So, Elisa, asexual is sexuality, right?
That's right. Teddy, have you ever wanted to kiss someone romantically?
No. Kissing is for grown-ups.
Teddy, do you think you might be asexual? Does that sound right to you?
Actually, yeah. I think I might be asexual.
And that's something that can also change as you get older.
Okay, I get it. So, I could be asexual right now, but identify as gay, or straight, or bisexual, or lesbian, or asexual when I'm older?
Exactly.
Both of your channels are basically just contradictions of each other, because over here you're trying to come up with all these theories that try to confirm that kids are born gay or whatever, and then you have your freaking kids channel that actually has a video that, like, you got videos that say that kids are born gay, and then you got another video that says, no, you're actually born asexual until you decide what sexuality you want. Like, did your mom drop you on your head when you were a kid or something?
Your brain is bad. Get a new one.
What the dead bird said.
Because people kind of assume that children are asexual and they're not really allowed to be sexual, but Freud kind of turns that on its head and basically says, no, all children are sexual, and yeah, even if they're straight.
Oh my god, okay, you're getting to a level of creepy that will probably freak out Pennywise the Clown.
So that's kind of basically the same thing as the ghostly gay child, but it's the ghostly straight child. Then the last one is the child queered by innocence or queered by color/money. Innocence is this adult construct that's kind of put onto children, and it doesn't really match up with what kids are and do, and she talks about that as a kind of queerness and that kind of mismatching of the adult ideal of children, and how the idea of child itself is kind of this adult nostalgic construction.
Are you trying to say that childhood or children are a social construct the same way gender is or something like that?
And then the child queered by money or color basically talks about kids who are already kind of under umbrellas of adult queerness, and how those kids don't really get that projection of innocence upon them because they are kind of the younger versions of queer adults, and so they're kind of queered by their race status or their economic status.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but it sounds racist as fuck.
Okay, then there's the last one of children being queered by the economy. Kids are totally cut off from adult normative economies because they just don't contribute to it. Like most kids' relationship with money is the weekly allowance.
What do you expect them to do? Get fucking jobs? They're kids! That's all they're supposed to be is kids! What kind of fucking college do you go to? What kind of brain cells did they kill in the professors that teach at this fucking place? Ugh.
And I think that makes kids really queer. And the only real way for kids to be involved in the economy is if you're an emancipated minor, which, interestingly enough, is not a possibility in the UK. Things I didn't know before.
So the fact that kids are kids and can't get jobs because they're kids makes them queer. And you want our tax dollars to pay for you to learn this type of bullshit?
And yeah, I think kids not really being able to be involved in kind of capitalist normative society just contributes to their queerness.
Yeah, well, I think you're the reason that they have to put cooking instructions on Pop-Tarts.
And yeah, so that's kind of the theory, the overall theory. I think it's really interesting, and I kind of agree. I mean, I think if you've ever just kind of seen a kid do a weird thing, kids are totally weird. I mean, they eat their own boogers. So yeah, I think that just kind of puts them outside of normative society.
Okay, yes, kids are weird. I would know. I got a 4-year-old who, for some reason, thinks that only ghosts live on the moon. But whatever. Kids are weird. However, just because kids are weird does not make them queer. I don't know where the fuck you came up with this bullshit idea. I don't know where any of those weird, creepy motherfuckers you're talking about in your books came up with any of this crap. And I also can't fathom why you even run the Queer Kid Stuff channel, where you actually think that kids that eat their own boogers are going to be able to understand sexualities, which they shouldn't be learning about in the fucking first place. Anyway, thankfully that's pretty much the end of the video. The only other thing she says is she tries to say if you want to join the conversation about this, you can go to some fucking echo chamber website, but I think that's all. That's all I'm going to deal with. But she's got another video that's just as stupid, and I'm going to, much to your delight, kill more brain cells listening to that shit and turn it up, because it's just as stupid and just continuously shows this woman's disconnection from reality. This one's also less creepy to me and is just dumb, so it'll be easier to make fun of and make it a little more funnier than this one was, because this one just pissed me off, because that's just, ugh. Why is this a subject? I don't get that. But anyway, before I blow my gasket and make my wife laugh at me a little more, I'm going to end this video. So like and subscribe if you like this video, and I will see y'all in the next video.